SuperMassive are going to be able to tell us here as they have picked up their first win.
Yeah, definitely give them a chance to speak in front of the crowd and hear it from their own mouths.
Yeah, so that's ready right now.
Thank you so much, guys. Indeed, standing by with Dumbledoge and Thaldrin from SuperMassive after beating CLG. Not just beating them, that was very, very decisive. Thaldrin, what are your first thoughts after doing that and getting that win for Turkey here at MSI?
Like, for this game, I did nothing, so I feel like I got a free win. But, like, as a team, we played really well, and I think it's just the beginning that we show that ourselves that we are a good team, not a classic wildcard team, let's say.
Yeah, Dumbledoge, how important is it, as Thaldrin says here, not to show that you're a classic wildcard team, but that you can go beyond? I know that SuperMassive was formed to be a super team and to do greater things than just a Turkish league.
I mean, before we came here, our first goal was making it out of group stage. And this is our first win, starting with SKT, and RNG is not the best. But I'm glad that we managed to get a win, and after that, I'm sure that we will get more wins.
How important is it for you personally? I know you have history with MSI. Is it important for you to kind of transcend that Dumbledoge killed Faker, but to be known for something more than that?
Yeah, I mean, when last year, after that, some people told that it was going to be the best thing I ever achieved in my career. But I'm glad that we are able to show more, that we can do more, and we will do our best to make it happen.
Yeah, before the tournament as well, under us analysts, we said, well, this might be the best wildcard team we have ever seen. And now that if you get top 4, that means you not only secured first seed, but you secure a spot for Turkey at Worlds no matter what. Can you try and explain to me how massive that would be, no pun intended, for you guys?
It's a really big thing for us, and we are trying our best to achieve that. Like, having a spot in Worlds for the Turkey is a big deal, so we are trying our best.
Yeah.
I want to go to wildcard though.
Yeah. Thaldrin, very interesting here. You have the sub situation going on, Fabulous as well. How is that for you? You're such a seasoned player and then having to step in or step out?
Like, unlike the other teams, we are like a 6-man team, like the old SKT, let's say. So we have some different kind of plays and styles, and we adapt according to that. So sometimes, like, the champions or the style that we play is kind of different, so we change our players according to that.
2 more things. One thing, if you look at the schedule that you still have up ahead, you already beat CLG now here. Who do you think are the teams that you can definitely match up with? I know even the SKT game was actually quite close.
Really?
Oh.
I mean, I think we can also win against Gamers too. What do you think?
I think we can win against Gamers too, but we will see.
Not being too confident, of course, you still got to play those games. Is there anything you want to say to the Turkish fans watching at home?
I want to say everyone who supports us, we had a really bad start, but they didn't give up on us, and they kept supporting us, and we will do our best not to disappoint them.
Okay, we will see what happens. If anything, you have a fantastic win here versus CLG. Thank you so much, Dumbledoge and Thaldrin. And Desk, break that win down, will ya?
Thank you, Shocks. We're going to do our best as those two with smiles on their faces, much deserved smiles, as they take down CLG. I've got a confused Desk here. I don't know.
I'm confused at Jet.
There was a nice prediction. Before we jump into it, I'm going to give Crepo a half a second here to gloat a little bit.
Just bring it in. I was
for his joke.
I mean, let's be honest here. I did expect an EU team to beat CLG today. I just didn't know which one.
Oh, now you're trying to claim regional. No.
Full circle here.
No, they represent the international wildcard and Turkey, not the European.
They play on the European server. I've played against Dumbledoge. I've had my ass handed to me by his board.
At least now people can make fun of the European LCS and the North American LCS.
Let's get into this though from an analytical standpoint, because again, this wasn't expected to say the least.
But I want to also, like, so if it isn't expected, I can accept that. But CLG twice has left open, like, the Azir for Xiaohu and got made pay, and now the Bard for Dumbledoge, which is by far and away his best champion. Like, this isn't, CLG have a tendency to ban away what they don't want to play against, not what is currently strong for other players, but that is a big, big oversight for the team.
And I also kind of poke fun. It's like, oh, now people will make fun of NA for losing to a wildcard region, but it's not the first time it's happened.
Right.
Pain beat them at Worlds. Also, Kaboom happened at Worlds. Wildcard teams do take games off of the big 5 regions, like just not Korea, right? I think they have a chance of doing it against all the other regions in any given game at this point, especially after seeing what happened here, because this was one of the cleaner times we've ever seen the win with the way they took it from the early game to the mid game to the late.
Now, in the Flash Wolves game, we had talked about the strength of that 2v2 from SuperMassive. Krepa, I want to turn to you again with the strength of this bottom lane. Dumbledoge and Achuu playing very strong, having a very nice matchup.
Yep.
And I want to get into some of the 2v2 action that we saw in the bot lane with a few replays. But walk me through, rather, the Bard Lucian versus the Braum Sivir matchup.
It is incredibly strong just because Lucian is a strong lane dominant laner as is, but Bard just has a big range advantage. And this is the laning pattern pretty much. You want to go for all these, you know, Qs through the creeps from both Lucian and Bard. This is the one mistake they made where they smelled the kill on Aphoromoo. It just wasn't quite enough. Here, unfortunately, the Q misses for Dumbledoge. Otherwise, they kind of equalize that situation. But other than this kind of overreaching where they were already ahead, they really understood the mechanics and the ways to beat this lane, making use of that poke advantage, that range advantage, eventually putting Stixxay on the back foot continuously. While the CS was even, there was a continuous pressure advantage for SuperMassive.
Yeah, and when we were watching this lane, and the reason we wanted to kind of pull these replays up is the fact that we thought that SuperMassive lost their chance to win the game when they messed that play up because they had so much momentum in the bottom lane, and we didn't think that once it got to teamfight phase, they would be able to come back into it. But this is another example of a bot lane fight.
Yeah, this is just another example of CLG trying to shut them down. Sadly, these are the ones that don't work out that well overall, but what is important here to highlight, it starts poorly, but Dumbledoge kind of pivots and waits for the right moments to go for double Qs. A lot of people there would rush the Q to get him into the wall, and even other situations in the entire game where, for example, they catch Graves, he has the presence of mind to look at the entire screen and then pivot and troll his Q at one point towards Aphoromoo and get another double stun. So he has really good oversight in these teamfights, and that allows Stomaged to really carry, because Stomaged played surprisingly well overall in this series.
And that's who I want to talk about, because I said my biggest question for this team is, will they get off the Gragas jungle and go towards the more early game lane focused junglers? And with the Kindred pickup now being picked up and in a fantastic victory, that kind of gives them another dynamic to how they can start winning these games.
And this is all without talking about Naru in the mid lane, who actually played phenomenally, had a great scoreline. Unfortunately, we're not going to have enough time to talk about that matchup. We could probably get into it the next time we see him up on the plate to play against another team. We'll have more time to talk about it. Yes, exactly. We've still got one more score to settle today as Faker and SK Telecom T1 square off against the LMS's Flash Wolves. We'll be right back for MSI 2016 after the break.
Himself to safety, magical journey.
Went on a bit of a run,
He wants to be double kill for Stixxay. Thaldrin makes his way in. He's gonna fall. No, he's not. Lands respite there, saves Stomaged as well. How is this even happened? Dumbledoge cosmic bite, he doesn't get in there. Stomaged picks up the kill.
Ekko. No ult, Ekko. Nice. We can still go. Chill. Nice. I'm going top. I will take top.
He's down! Achuu takes down Stixxay in the backline. Massive entrance to the fight from Thaldrin, and Naru takes down 2 already. And they're not pulling the trigger. There's that teleport. Thaldrin trying to come in. Dumbledoge as well. Naru stopping the backs. Thaldrin is going to be